Are you alone right now? Then prepare to be shocked. What if I told you that loneliness isn't just a feeling of sadness, but a silent epidemic that's affecting your health, your wealth, and your very future in ways you can't even imagine? We're about to pull back the curtain and reveal the unsettling truth about loneliness and its devastating impact on your life. You may feel it or know someone who does, so get ready to learn how loneliness impacts your life. Welcome to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's often ignored but profoundly impactful: loneliness. It's not simply about being alone. It's about the disconnect we feel from others, the lack of meaningful connection, and the gnawing feeling of isolation. This isn't just some modern trend, it's a growing problem with serious consequences. The feeling is that the world is changing, but in which way? So what exactly is loneliness? It's crucial to understand that it's not synonymous with social isolation. You can be surrounded by people, colleagues, family, friends, and still feel profoundly lonely. Conversely, you can be alone and perfectly content. Loneliness, at its core, is a subjective experience. It's the discrepancy between the connections you desire and the connections you perceive you have. Think of it like this. You might have hundreds of friends on social media, but if you don't feel genuinely understood or supported by them, the loneliness can still creep in. It's about the quality, not the quantity, of your relationships. It's the feeling of being alone, even in a crowd. This is social isolation, which is often the effect of loneliness. It's about lacking that sense of belonging, that feeling of being seen, heard, and valued. It's the absence of meaningful connection. This lack of connection is the key to identifying and overcoming loneliness. Now here's where things get really concerning. Loneliness isn't just a mental or emotional state. It has profound physical and mental health consequences. The science is clear. Chronic loneliness is a major risk factor for a range of serious health problems. Studies have shown that loneliness can increase your risk of heart disease and stroke by as much as 29%. That's comparable to the risks associated with smoking or high blood pressure. It weakens your immune system, making you more vulnerable to illness. It even disrupts your sleep, leading to a cycle of fatigue and increased stress. On the mental health front, the effects are equally stark. Loneliness is a major contributor to depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. It can exacerbate existing mental health conditions and make it harder to cope with everyday stressors. The more loneliness, the less capacity to deal with mental health-related issues. In fact, some researchers believe that loneliness is a significant factor in the rising rates of mental health issues, especially among younger generations. We must take this seriously as it affects everyone. But the impact of loneliness doesn't stop at personal health. It has a significant economic cost, impacting productivity, innovation, and the overall well-being of society. Lonely employees are less productive, less engaged, and more likely to leave their jobs. This leads to lower levels of innovation and creativity. In a globalized world, innovation drives the economy, and the lack of it has a ripple effect. Beyond the workplace, loneliness erodes social cohesion and community engagement. When people feel disconnected from each other, they are less likely to participate in civic activities, volunteer, or even simply trust their neighbors. This weakens the social fabric and makes it harder to address collective challenges. This means that loneliness is not just a personal problem, it's a societal problem that requires a collective response. We need to work towards overcoming it together. Now, you might think loneliness only affects older adults or people who are socially awkward. But that's a dangerous stereotype. The truth is, loneliness can affect anyone, regardless of their age, gender, socio-economic status, or personality. While older adults are certainly vulnerable, studies show that loneliness is actually increasing among younger generations. Social media, while designed to connect us, can paradoxically exacerbate feelings of isolation and inadequacy. People from marginalized communities, those with chronic illnesses, and those who have experienced traumatic events are also at higher risk of loneliness. Factors like poverty, discrimination, and lack of access to resources can all contribute to feelings of isolation and disconnect. So, it's crucial to remember that loneliness is a complex issue with many contributing factors. It's not about blaming individuals, it's about understanding the systemic issues that contribute to this growing problem. Technology, particularly social media, plays a complex role in the loneliness epidemic. On the one hand, it can connect us with friends, family, and communities across the globe. It can provide a sense of belonging and support, especially for those who may feel isolated in their offline lives. On the other hand, excessive screen time, cyberbullying, and the constant comparison to others online can fuel feelings of inadequacy and loneliness. The curated nature of social media often presents an unrealistic view of other people's lives, leading to feelings of jealousy and low self-esteem. Moreover, digital connection is often a poor substitute for real-world interaction. The nuance, empathy, and physical presence that are essential for building strong relationships are often lost in online communication. Finding a healthy balance between digital connection and real-world interaction is crucial for mitigating the negative effects of technology on loneliness. It's all about finding real friends and not just virtual ones. So, what can you do to combat loneliness and build stronger connections? The good news is that there are many practical steps you can take to improve your social well-being. First, actively seek out opportunities to build relationships. Join a club, volunteer for a cause you care about, or take a class that interests you. These are great ways to meet new people who share your interests and values. Second, nurture your existing relationships. Reach out to friends and family members you haven't seen in a while. Make an effort to spend quality time with the people you care about. Put down the smartphone and focus on the person in front of you. Third, find purpose and meaning in your life. Engage in activities that give you a sense of accomplishment and contribution. This could be anything from starting a new hobby to pursuing a passion project to simply helping others. This sense of accomplishment will greatly boost your mental state. Another powerful way to combat loneliness, both in yourself and in others, is to practice kindness and empathy. Reach out to those who may be struggling and offer your support. Listen actively to what they have to say and try to understand their perspective. Small acts of kindness can make a big difference in someone's life. Offer a compliment, lend a helping hand, or simply smile at a stranger. These gestures can create a sense of connection and belonging even in fleeting moments. By cultivating kindness and empathy, we can build bridges between ourselves and others, breaking down the walls of isolation and creating a more compassionate and connected world. This helps to fight loneliness one step at a time. One of the biggest barriers to addressing loneliness is the stigma surrounding it. Many people feel ashamed or embarrassed to admit that they're lonely, fearing that they will be judged or seen as weak. It's crucial to challenge this stigma and create a culture where people feel comfortable talking openly about their feelings. Mental health awareness is becoming mainstream, but still has a long way to go. Sharing your vulnerabilities can be a powerful way to connect with others and build stronger relationships. You might be surprised to find that many people share your struggles and are willing to offer support. If you're struggling with chronic loneliness, it's important to seek help from a mental health professional. There are many effective therapies and strategies that can help you cope with your feelings and build a more fulfilling social life. Addressing loneliness requires a multifaceted approach that goes beyond individual actions. We need to create community initiatives that promote social connection and combat isolation in schools, workplaces, and beyond. Workplace wellness programs can incorporate activities that encourage teamwork, collaboration, and social interaction. Schools can implement programs that teach social skills, promote empathy, and create a sense of belonging among students. Senior centers can provide opportunities for older adults to connect with their peers, engage in activities, and access support services. Social prescribing, a growing trend in healthcare, involves linking patients with social activities and community resources to improve their overall well-being. By investing in community initiatives that prioritize social connection, we can create a more inclusive and supportive society for everyone. Looking ahead, the future of connection requires social innovation, technology for good, and a commitment to building empathy-driven solutions. We need to develop technologies that enhance, rather than replace, real-world interaction. We need to create online communities that are safe, inclusive, and supportive. We need to foster a culture that values connection, compassion, and collaboration. By embracing these principles, we can create a future where everyone feels connected, valued, and supported. A future where loneliness is no longer a silent epidemic, but a challenge we have collectively overcome. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. Loneliness is a subjective experience of disconnect that has serious consequences for your health, your wealth, and society as a whole. It affects people of all ages and backgrounds and is often exacerbated by technology, but there is hope. By taking practical steps to build connections, find purpose, and practice kindness, we can combat loneliness and create a more connected and compassionate world. Now, for something that could really change your life. For me personally, I used to feel really lonely after moving to a new city. I didn't know anyone and I spent most of my time alone at home. It was really tough, but then I decided to join a hiking club and it completely changed my life. I met so many amazing people and I finally felt like I belonged. It just goes to show that even small steps can make a big difference. Enough talking. It's time to take action. Right now, I want you to do one thing. Reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. It could be a friend, a family member, a former colleague, even someone you've lost touch with on social media. Send them a message, give them a call, or invite them for a coffee. Just make that initial connection. Because connection is the antidote to loneliness, and it starts with you. Don't wait for someone else to reach out. Take the initiative and build those bridges. Your happiness could be one call away. And while you're at it, share this video with anyone who might be struggling with loneliness. Let's raise awareness and create a more connected world together. Hit that like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Your support is what fuels us to continue helping.